Hello everyone, I hope everyone is having an awesome week, and if you're in Canada, we have a long weekend happening this weekend and I'm super excited about it. I don't know about you guys. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are up to this weekend. I know I'm going to be heading to our family cottage and it's Eric's birthday, and so we've got some really exciting fun things happening this weekend. And I have some surprises happening for Eric that he doesn't know about. He thinks that we're doing a really low-key birthday this year, I told him, but I've got some exciting surprises for him. So I hope you guys have some exciting plans for the weekend, and we're going to be diving in tonight to a super important topic. I think I say that like every week. Let me know in the comments below if you're watching me each week. Let me know, do I say that every week? Because I feel like I do. This is a super juicy, important topic. That's what I say. All of them in my world are super juicy and important. So tonight we're going to be talking all about dairy and the truth about it. Because the truth is that we have been lied to. We've been lied to, and I'm going to break the truth free tonight. We're going to talk all about it because I have a sneaking suspicion that some of you have been told that dairy is where it is at in order to support that good bacteria happening in your gut, and that you want to make sure that you're getting yogurt into your diet. And I'm here to tell you that hold your horses, because that just might not be the case. Hey Sandy, doing nothing this weekend, relaxing. Relaxing is just fine, right? Just as good as those fun weekends. I enjoy those weekends relaxing too. Okay, so let's just talk about dairy for a second. I'm going to tell you a story because, you know, I've never wanted to break up with dairy. That's the truth. Hey, Laura. I've never wanted to break up with dairy because it's delicious. And how can you eat pizza without cheese? Has anyone felt this way before? Can you let me know in the comments? Any cheese lovers out there? What's your poison? Tell me what it is. Are any milk drinkers out there? Who's drinking glasses of milk? Who's eating yogurt every day? Where are my cheese lovers at? Okay? So, I mean, I never really wanted to break up with cheese because I really felt it was delicious. Except there was one problem. Every time I ate cheese, I couldn't poop for like 3 days. And it took me like a week to really get things back into order. And so one of the problems that I found when I was struggling with IBS, and I didn't even realize that this was kind of an issue, the diarrhea and constipation, was that dairy was such a big part of my life. It was really a big culprit in what was keeping me sick. And so I was really heartbroken when I found out that cheese did not agree with my body. In fact, as I shared with you, it really just made me constipated. So you might be wondering though, well, Alyssa, that's great. It makes you constipated, but I feel just fine when I eat dairy. I feel just fine. My poops are fine, or they were a hot mess before anyway, so I feel no different when I eat dairy, right? Let me know in the comments below if that's you, all right? You may feel like you're just fine when you eat dairy, so does that mean that you're okay to eat it and, you know, go to town on it? Well, here is what happened to me. When I first started to change my life, I decided that there was something that I really needed to do. I needed to reinvent myself. And I decided to go back to school and become a registered holistic nutritionist, which I am today. And I became super passionate about teaching people how to love and trust their guts so that we could really get to the bottom of the gas, the bloating, the diarrhea, the constipation. And one of the biggest things that motivated me was that my sister was suffering from colitis. And I didn't even realize that I had IBS. I just kind of thought like, hey, a little bit of constipation here, a little bit of diarrhea there, no big deal, right? Like no one's talking about it, so I guess it's normal. So after I really started to get a hold of what was going on and I changed my life, lost 70 pounds from just fixing my gut, I decided to go back to school. And when I did that, I really decided I was going to just dive into being a student, and I started to work for a naturopath in my local hometown, and he shared this story with me, and it changed everything for me. He said, Alyssa, there's a couple things that you need to know about dairy. I mean, the truth is that when we are eating dairy or consuming dairy, we are really just consuming the breast milk of another animal. And he showed me this picture. It was like this animated picture of this man laying on the ground underneath a cow, sucking on a cow's tit, drinking the milk, okay? And so this was a real visual that just ran it right home for me. And I was like, oh, like, yeah, I can't ever imagine laying underneath a cow, drinking the milk from the breast of another animal. But I don't know, everyone seems to be doing it, so like, isn't that normal? And he said, well, that's just one piece of the puzzle, Alyssa. He said, there's a whole other piece that you need to know about. You see, when you are first born, okay, you are meant to drink the breast milk of your own mother, your human mother. And your mother's breast milk contains all of the hormones and vitamins and minerals to help you grow into a big, happy, healthy human. And it's the same for cows and goats for that matter, because then people say, well, what about goat milk? I'm fine with goats. Well, are you a goat? Right? So he said it's the same with cows. You see, a cow, a mother cow, it has all of the vitamins and minerals and hormones to help a baby calf grow into a big, healthy cow. Well, I'm not a cow, nor do I want to be a cow. Okay? And so isn't it interesting? Isn't that interesting? So perhaps I started to think, okay, well, our mother's milk has all of the nutrients in it that we need to become healthy. So I don't know, is it still okay to drink the breast milk from a cow? I mean, sure, maybe I don't need those hormones, but I really like dairy. I don't want to give it up, I kept thinking. But then he said, no, Alyssa, there's still another piece that you need to know. And he said to me, as infants, when you're born, you know, you're drinking the breast milk of your mother. When you are an infant, your stomach has not been developed yet. In fact, it's still alkaline in order for you to be able to drink the breast milk of your mom. And what happens is, as you are weaned off of the breast milk of your mother and your body continues to develop, your stomach develops. And what happens is your stomach turns acidic. And we need it to be acidic. You need your gut to be acidic. Point of clarification, your gut should be acidic. Your body should be alkaline. Okay? Your gut needs to be acidic because that is what helps you to digest proteins and foods, and also to keep the bad bacteria out because they cannot live in an acidic environment. Okay? So again, as the little baby's stomach develops, it turns acidic. And he said to me, Alyssa, do you want to know how to make glue? I said, okay. Isn't that a little off topic? And he said, the interesting thing is how you make glue is you take milk and you put it through an acidic environment, and then you put it through an alkaline environment. And he said, you know, when food goes through the digestive system, it goes into your stomach, which is acidic, and then into the intestines, which are alkaline. So essentially, you are making glue. You know, at that point, I thought that just might be problematic and maybe I should stop eating the dairy. But he continued to give me another visual. He said, Alyssa, you are like a donut. And the outside of your body, okay, this outside layer is exactly what's on the inside. You're just a donut. Okay, so if you look Look down there, you're just a donut. It's the same skin layer all the way through and out your bum. From your tongue to your bum, you're just a donut. But he said in your intestines, it's just like your arm. And if you're look, I want you guys to hold up your arm. If you look at your arm, you're gonna see obviously the skin, but then you see all these little hair-like follicles, okay? Those hair-like follicles, they're in your intestines too, and we call them villi. And those villi are meant to absorb those vitamins and minerals that are coming from your foods. And so when we are ingesting dairy products and making glue, it coats those little hair-like follicles, those little villi. And what happens is it affects absorption and it leaves us malnourished. But also the body says, ugh, get off of me. I can't digest with all that icky goopy glue on me. And so our body produces mucus to try and push this sticky goopiness through the system to get it out of the system. So have you ever eaten dairy before and had to clear your throat? After you've eaten, it's like mucusy. It's like you're struggling, right? Don't lie to me. Let me know in the comments below if that was you, because that was me. Had to clear my throat all the time, especially after eating dairy. But also, if you have mucus in your stools, guess what, guys? That is a real good sign of inflammation. And that inflammation is often due in part to inflammatory foods, and one of the causers or one of those types of foods can be dairy, coating those villi and creating inflammation. And the body again produces mucus to try and push this stuff through so that it can more effectively absorb your vitamins and minerals to help you feel energized, to help you get rid of the brain fog, get rid of the moodiness. Because if you are not getting these critical vitamins and minerals, it leaves your bodily systems depleted. It causes IBS, Crohn's, colitis. It causes skin issues. It causes hormone issues. It leaves your hair falling out or thinning. And these are just some of the examples that can come from malabsorption. Okay? So this was an eye-opening experience for me when this naturopathic doctor that I was working with explained this to me. And it really shifted everything for me. And so what I want to share with you guys today is that dairy, whether you have a food sensitivity to it or not, is causing inflammation in your body. And taking lactose-free dairy products is not enough. All they've done is removed the sugar, the milk sugar from the product that people are often sensitive to, but it's left many of the other components of the dairy that are A, still inflammatory, and B, are still common allergens. So dairy really isn't your friend, and that's the truth. And the truth is that the dairy industry would have you to believe a couple of different things that I just want to clarify with you tonight. One is that you need milk or dairy products to get your calcium. Wrong. Wrong. Here's why. They said that they said dairy contains calcium. The dairy industry has said dairy's high in calcium. Yes, they're correct. Does that mean that you're actually absorbing that calcium? Not necessarily. Here's why. Because dairy is so inflammatory, it's so acidic, the body utilizes minerals, particularly calcium, to help buffer acidic foods. And so what happens when you consume dairy is it actually draws calcium out of the bones so that that calcium can buffer the inflammation that is caused from the dairy. So it actually has the opposite effect than we really want. So the calcium topic is a really big topic, and I'm just going to leave that at that. But there are many other foods, plant-based foods, that can help you make sure that you are getting your calcium. Spirulina is a really great blue-green algae superfood that I encourage you to tap into if you're concerned about your calcium or your protein or any other minerals. Iron is another one that it's really rich in. But the calcium myth has been debunked officially. All right, next. But I need my yogurt to get my probiotics. No. Here's the thing. Most yogurts are not properly fermented like they used to be. Most commercial yogurts are not fermented at all, meaning they have no probiotics in them. Zippo. So what they're doing is they're adding in probiotics because they know that gut health is a really big topic and probiotics is a buzzword right now. And so these companies, they didn't say, oh, do you know what, we're going to start fermenting our yogurts. No. They just started to add back in certain strains of probiotic, often only one single strain of probiotic. Okay? Let me just give you a bit of a better understanding. You have 1,000 different strains of bacteria in your body. So I really appreciate you adding in one strain, but that's probably not going to do me, right? So thank you very much, Activia. You added in a single strain of bacteria, but that's not really going to be enough to fix my gut. All right? The other thing is that the amount that they're actually adding in is so minimal. Often it's about 10 million, okay? And sometimes it's 1 billion, okay? But you have up to 100 trillion bacteria in your body. So it's like a drop in the bucket. And often what happens is you would have to consume about 50 servings of yogurt to get what you would get in about a 50 billion bacteria probiotic supplement. So are you prepared to consume 50 servings of yogurt in one day to get your quota of probiotics? And are you prepared to deal with the amount of inflammation, diarrhea, and constipation that will come from consuming that much dairy? And is your body prepared to cope with the amount of sugar that will come? Because dairy, when digested, converts into sugar. And sugar feeds your bad bacteria. So there's not a whole lot of good coming from that dairy. Okay? There's really not a whole lot of good that's coming from it. So what I'm going to suggest are my top 4 foods that are dairy-free, fermented, and giving you lots of good bacteria to help support healthy guts. Okay? So, excuse me. So here, we're going to dive right in. And if you're just joining us, I want you to hop back to the beginning once we wrap her up, because I've just busted through some of the top myths around dairy, and you definitely want to check them out, because I know it's going to shock you just like it shocked me. And it might just take you off dairy officially, even if you're a dairy cheese lover like I was. Okay? Okay. So, first food that I want you to add into your world to help support adding in good bacteria. Okay? Sauerkraut. Have you heard of sauerkraut before? Some people have. I'm surprised some people haven't. And so I want to hear from you. If you are eating sauerkraut in your diet, let me know in the comments below. Say, yes, that's me. I'm eating it. Love it. Hate it. Put it on my sausage. Okay? A lot of people eat sauerkraut on their sausages or hot dogs. You see them at like street meat joints. Okay? And they've got like ketchup, mustard, relish, sauerkraut. All right, I used to think that was gross as a kid until I realized that it's going to help my gut. So, sauerkraut. This is the best stuff. I love wild brine. So good. Wild brine, I got this at Costco. This is the danger of shopping at Costco. This thing is the size of my head. But when you go to Costco, you end up buying mammoth stuff like this. All right, Sandy said I put sauerkraut on my salads every day. Awesome. It's dripping all over me right now. So it's been in the fridge. It's super cold. So sauerkraut is fermented cabbage, and this is such a super, super good gut healing food for a couple of reasons. So not only is it fermented, providing you with good bacteria to help replenish the bacteria in your gut that help to support healthy bowel movements, healthy mood, your immune system. But cabbage is such a good food to add into your world if you're looking to fix your gut. Here's why. It is high in L-glutamine. L-glutamine is an amino acid, and it helps to heal and repair your gut lining. Okay, so love it. Definitely get sauerkraut into your diet. In fact, studies have shown that not only does it have ability to heal, but those live active strains have been shown to help heal leaky gut, IBS, and even inflammatory bowel disease. So make sure you get sauerkraut into your diet. You can top it on salads, you can put it on stir fries, you can put it on anything. You can eat it on its own. Sometimes I will get like a Ryvita cracker, like a rye cracker, and I will put hummus on top with sauerkraut, a little bit of hot sauce, some salt. So good. Okay, super easy to add in, and you don't need a whole heck of a lot of it. You can just add 1 to 2 tablespoons or like a 1/4 cup per day, and it's a great way to support gut health. Okay, hey Anna. Anna said, I live in the sauerkraut capital of Ontario. Awesome. Okay, so sauerkraut is definitely one of them. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to encourage you to add into your world is miso. Have you heard of miso before? I want to hear from you in the comments. This is miso. Miso hungry? I haven't eaten dinner. Miso hungry. I'm gonna eat. I actually made this super delicious, easy, boneless broth with miso in it. It's so tasty. It's so good. It's my cheater. I just actually taught my clients in the Love and Trust Your Guts program. We just did a cooking class in our Facebook group, and I taught them how to make that recipe with miso in it. So what the heck is miso? Are you guys eating miso? Let me know in the comments. Say, yep, me, I know what miso is. So what miso is it's a salty Japanese paste. It's like a seasoning paste, okay? Now, most misos are made from soy. It's typically fermented soy, but soy doesn't agree with everyone. So you can actually get miso pastes made from rice or chickpeas. I personally bought the chickpea one, and I just love it. It had such great flavor to your soups and stews, is typically where miso is used. Anna said only in soups. Tell me how to use it. Yeah, so miso is such a great thing that again, soup is typically where I add it. I have made some raw, like cashew cheese balls before for dipping, like when I go to a party and I'm feeling extra fancy pants in the kitchen, which is pretty rare. But I have put it into my cashew balls before to add in that good bacteria and that extra punch of flavor. Marjo said, is that a paste? We could put that in our soup rather than buying miso broth. You betcha. Yeah, it's a paste. Let me show it to you guys. Just like that. So good. Smells pretty funky, but it tastes good. In a soup. I wouldn't eat it raw. I don't love the taste of it like on its own, but it adds great flavor to a soup or broth. Okay, don't smell it. That was rank. That's not gonna sell you on miso. If the first thing you do is go buy miso and smell it, you're gonna be like, Alyssa is nuts, I'm not eating this. Okay, so don't smell it, just to be clear. Okay, the third food. Okay, Anna said, where do you get yours? Okay, I bought mine at my local health food store. I have seen some in grocery stores, but it really depends on the grocery stores. I'm finding grocery stores are really stepping up their game with bringing in products. So you might be able to find something like that there. Honestly, this traditional miso brand is the one that I see most frequently. And again, it's typically at your health food store. Anna, I think in your area, Goodness Me would probably be your closest store, and I know for sure they would have it. Okay, Janice said, yes, where do you get it? I just answered that. Okay, so the third food. 3. Okay, we're gonna talk about kimchi now. Has anyone tried kimchi before? Kimchi is really similar to sauerkraut. It's not the same, but it's similar. It's still fermented foods, okay? I say foods because it's not just cabbage. It's typically fermented vegetables. I've even seen some kimchis that had things like shrimp in it. Not my cup of tea. I've never been a seafood lover. But kimchi is a Korean dish, and it's typically spicy, and so they add different spices like chili, ginger, scallions, and what am I missing? Oh, garlic. And they'll ferment that, and it's really delicious, super flavorful. I think I actually love it a little bit more than sauerkraut, but don't tell anyone. So I don't have any kimchi at home right now, but it's typically red because of all the beautiful spices in it. Again, super delicious. Yeah, Anna said delicious. I find it a touch spicier. Yes, it totally is spicier because they do add chili into it. So if spice doesn't agree with you, kimchi might not be your friend. Okay. Next up is tempeh. So tempeh I also don't have in my house right now, but tempeh is a really great fermented soy product. So this one is soy. If you don't tolerate soy, then tempeh is not for you. But tempeh is really common amongst the vegan and vegetarian community. It's typically used as like a meat alternative. It flavors really easily, and it's high in protein. So it's popular for that reason, and you can easily add it into wraps or on salads or anywhere that you would typically have a chicken or some sort of meat stir fries. It's really easy to flavor and add in. So guys, we're gonna sum up the four. We got sauerkraut, we got miso, kimchi, and tempeh. These are my 4 top foods that I recommend. My sister just called. That are fermented and super good for supporting not only the good bacteria in your gut, but also supporting your body and its ability to fix the imbalances that are going on that are keeping you glued to a toilet, praying to the poop gods, hoping for this constipation to go away, easing the bloating, and even helping to support your immune system. So I hope this was helpful, guys. Let me know in the comments below if you loved it, and I will see you guys next week. Hope you have an awesome weekend. Bye.